It's a miracle, ordained by heaven.
This boy is our king.
Well, by Jove.
What's the lad's name?
What? Oh, I mean Arthur.
Hail, King Arthur!
Hail, King Arthur!
Hey, what's up? I need to talk about a serious subject. And I know this subject is going to be a little bit sensitive, but I need to say my piece. So, my only suggestion is, if you're the type of person that's not about that kind of content, I would suggest you click off the video, because what I'm about to say is about, war, about nuclear war in particular. That's what I'm going to talk about today. I just want to throw this out because I came across this streamer and he was talking about, 9/11. Apparently he was in one of the buildings that got struck. And apparently he said that if he was in charge, he'd nuke Iran and all that stuff. Listen, is killing only a few bad apples worth millions of people losing their lives? I'm going to say no. Nuclear warfare should have never been invented. We were supposed to use nuclear energy for good. We were supposed to use it to help humanity, not destroy it. But of course, us human beings always have to turn something into destruction. I remember a time when we were taught in school the horrors of what happened to Japan and how that got nuked in one of the world wars. And I was listening to that, and I'm not gonna lie, and it made me really upset, because a lot of people lost their lives, didn't even have an option to live, and I feel like that's not fair for them to lose lives over some bad actors that were in charge. Nuclear weapons should be disposed of. They never should be used again, because you got to put yourself in the shoes of the people suffering from nuclear fallout. Let's just say, you're one of the survivors. You have to deal with radiation. You got to deal with food possibly being contaminated. Like, there's consequences to this shit. It just horrifies me, the fact that they're still testing out nuclear weapons and firing them off. War never changes. Like the Fallout series said, war never changes, because it doesn't. We always believe that we have to win no matter what, and it doesn't matter what the consequences are. And that has to stop. Millions of people being killed and having to suffer through so much pain and agony is not worth it, in my opinion. It's really appalling, in my opinion. Those people in Hiroshima, they didn't deserve it. Okay, yes, the Japanese government, they struck Pearl Harbor. Was that justified to retaliate with a nuclear weapon and kill all those people just so Japan, the Japanese government said, okay, we throw our flag up and surrender? Absolutely not. There should have been a different and a better way of doing this instead of killing so many people. This is why I can't agree with world wars, because it affects people in the most harshest way ever. People die. People have to suffer because of other people's choices.
War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the waste to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained down from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
It's stupid when neighborhood gangs kill each other with no reason. It's stupid when countries fight the wars. Not stupid to respect all living things.
Yeah, I bet you've killed a cockroach.
Miyagi don't live in monastery, Julie-san, but still respect